All great journeys start with a single step, and with this company, it was a single peg. And from there, we got so much more. Born post mid-school, they still pass the vibe check. So grab a bag and let's go on a Quest BMX. What up people, Derek here with Bendy Tubes, and as you can see, I'm recording live from BattleGround before things get started and crazy. I want to thank our sponsors and give a quick shout out to 4Pegs, to Ground Whip, to Flatland Fuel, to Paragon BMX, and the dudes over at Cincinnati Flatland Fanatics. Now, like I mentioned in a previous video, inspiration is fleeting for me. I get it from random places, and this one actually came about a year ago. I had posted the Fishbone video, learn more about it here, and someone reached out and they said, hey, it's a decent video, but if you want the real scoop on Fishbone and Quest, let me know. I got some info for you. Cool. I'm planning on doing it. I'll put it in the list. I'll reach out whenever I'm ready. Well, I never reached out. Sorry, Danny. But as I was awkwardly walking around BattleGround here in Cleveland, a stranger came up. He's like, hey, I messaged you about Quest BMX. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So we got to talking a little bit, and I'm like, so you got a ton of information. Did you actually run Quest? He's like, yeah, it's my company. Mind blown. So I am here to share more about my conversation and the skinny that I got on Quest BMX. So in 2013, Quest started here in Cleveland, Ohio. Who started it? Danny Sirkin. Now, if you didn't know, Cleveland was a powerhouse of a scene today and back in the day. Danny, you had Scott Powell, you had Todd Carter, Chris Young, Dylan Worsley, Chase passed through here, Tex wasn't too far away. Holy crap, and talk about companies. You had Powell, Individual, and Infinity. Plus, Gween wasn't too far down the road in Youngstown, Ohio, and Chenga. Like, if you want to learn more about a lot of that, check out this video about Claiborne and Powell Individual. Check out this one where we talk about Gween a little bit as well. Also learn more about Infinity Cycles. There. So Danny came up in this mecca of Flatland. He rode for Dyno from 87 to 90. He rode for Haro from 91 to 96, and then kept on keeping the wheels rubber side down through to this day. Like I said, in 2013, he wasn't happy with the peg options in the market, so he said, I can do it better. And he created the Quest Guru Sticks, a sexy diameter at 1.625 inches with thoughtful knurling. He wasn't happy with either the too scratchy or the too smooth knurling. He nailed it. He got it right. He put a lot of attention into that, and that's important, people. He liked them. People liked him. He made a couple batches. He made the smaller ones, the Guru Sticks, and he made those bigger ones I talked about, the Meta Guru Sticks. Early on, there was even a freaking team on Quest. You had JFB, you had Todd Carter, Steve Lapsley, and Pete Brandt and Brian Huffman for a bit. Yo, that is a freaking stable of Midwestern and Canadian flatland talent. Then, instead of a signature bar for each team member, we got signatures from the whole team on their first handlebar, the Miyagi. Made by Solid Bikes, these two-piece bars got them rolling. Tall for the time, 8.75 inches, super rad. Next, they took the first step towards frames with this Quest Rocket. Just kidding. Unfortunate name coincidence, but Danny got that figured out and trademarked Quest BMX. They did have the real first batch fabbed up by Dylan Worsley at We Bicycles for this prototype Quest Podium shown here. Shout out to Ephraim Catlow who runs Flat Matters online for making my job way easier. Huge repository of interviews and information and all that stuff. And side note, I got to meet Ephraim, and he's really tall. But back to the Podium, y'all. This is mold school as heck. We're talking mold school deep in the new school. Like we're straight tube, double diamond boring bikes all the way, and then we drop this tube gusset having like a standard Dow, tiny tucked and welded platform that ran along that 19-inch top tube. spot on 74.5-degree head tube angle with a slammed 13-inch rear end and chainstay. Check out this write-up, linked below to the Flat Matters interview for more information. There was a small run of 5, but after that, Danny set his sights on something higher and we got the Quest Battle. Now we're freaking talking. This paid homage to the Quamens back in the day. 19-inch top tube, even better 74-degree head tube angle with a slam 12.7-inch back end. Danny and I talked a lot about angles and how this 74.5 just feels good for us old folks these days. We need a little more slack, a little less switch, you know what I mean? And I couldn't agree more. Now this is a crissy-crossy gap tube gusset up front flatland machine, low step over, low bottom bracket, and at the time in 2014, this was described as a respectful nod to Quamen that set out to bring the flatland look back to frames. I mean, is this the start of the generation we're in right now, where we've got the Verse and we've got Autumn Blitz and we've got the Arctic, the wet, like there are so many bikes now that are not just double diamond, they are more than that. So good job, Quest, back in 2014 bringing the bends or the gussets back to flatland. Y'all, hats off to Danny. Podium with its old school design, that mid-school masterpiece smack dab in the middle of the new school, and let's pay homage to this little nugget in a second. But first, Quest made other bits, the bonsai bars, the turbine 1 and 2 pegs. Man, they did their thing. It was so funny. I was like, oh, Danny, I had the Quest bars, I forgot about that. He's like, did they bend? I'm like, yeah, they did. He's like, they're made of crap steel. I'm like, no way, I had no idea. But he knew the product, he knew his brand, and he knew that that didn't meet their standards. So if you had a pair of bent Quest bonsai bars, he knew, and by way of me, he apologizes. This is what happens when you film things live. We got air compressors, we got music, we got people like Danny Moyer Harrison rocking in the background and Andy Pandemic. Like, we've got the crew here. So I'm just gonna lean into the ambient noise of a true flatland contest. But back to that nugget. Apparently, while JF was riding for Quest, which he did for a while, check out JF's Quest Battle interview in Flat Matters online once again. Danny got hooked up with Ken Wren from Fishbone and was offered to lead a role in bringing Fishbone back. But Danny slept on it for a little bit, and then he came back and said, sure, I'll run it, but we have to own it, stem to stern, tip to tail, all of it. I said, cool. He got JF to be full factory Fishbone rider and full freedom to design the frame, and this is how we got the Fishbone Rebel. The Fishbone in 2015 that just kind of popped up out of nowhere. Remember that? Dope bike, slamming frame, bent, 19.2 top tube, 74.5-degree head tube angle. Loved this bike, had it. And the funny thing is, I found this picture of the Fishbone Rebel with Quest bonsai bars. This is one of my favorite frames, just random how I did not know that these things were related till last night sitting at the bar riding this, drinking a beer. And I want my Rebel back real bad, so if you have a Rebel and it's just like sitting, not really doing anything for you, hit me up, I'm interested. And where is Danny now? He had a bike shop called Soul and Bicycle here in Cleveland, Ohio area. It was actually a distributor for Fishbone. Recently closed, so he's taking it easy, living that semi-retired life out by the lake. And I mentioned JF. And look out for more about JF and Reclamation and the cross-pollination that happened between Quest and Reclamation, because I think that there's a story there, and I'm gonna try and tie all this stuff back together. We'll talk about JF's new bike, the FRE. And y'all, that is it. Like I said, I lean into serendipity, so this works for now and forever. Thanks to Danny for his time and all this information and sitting down with me on the curb to talk about Quest. Y'all, I love this stuff. I truly do. And shout out to Joey and Abby from Project H&B. I met them in the parking lot here at BattleGround. They're super rad. As always, Derek with Bendy Tubes, ride on fam.